Jeremy Richards back with another U.S. immigration law video. And today we are talking about a lot of what's going on in the Canadian media right now. In the latest Canadian travel advisory from the Canadian government. And if you go to the travel advisory, you can find it on the official Government of Canada's travel advisory site, travel.gc.ca. We've received some calls from not only clients, but also potential clients and Canadian media outlets about the state of affairs in Canada. All of them are overly concerned about what's going on in the United States. And frankly, the Canadian media is blowing things out of proportion. Now, if you go to the Canadian Travel Advisory website, it lists all the countries throughout the world for Canadians, and it gives you a breakdown of what the current state of affairs is in that country. And it also has a color-coded system, and they have 4 different levels in their legend when you're looking at advice and advisories by destination. There's a green check mark, which means take normal security precautions. Then there's a yellow exclamation mark that says exercise a high degree of caution. Then there's an orange dash that says avoid non-essential travel. And then there's the red X, and that's avoid all travel. And as you go down this list, looking at the countries on the list to identify what the travel advisory is from the Canadian government, then you pull up Canada. It lists the United States as normal travel advisory. Take normal precautions, and it gives you the green check. The Canadian government itself is not advising against travel to the United States. So the question is why are these Canadian media outlets saying that the U.S. has become too dangerous? Why are they, sharing these isolated events of crime, incidents, protests, whatever it is, representing the entire country of the United States as this war-torn country that you should fear coming to the United States? Well, the United States is Canada's largest trading partner, and it's one of the most popular destinations for U.S. citizens to travel. So, and families, professionals, business people cross the border every day without incident. And I use my client base and the individuals I talk to. Anecdotally, we have 3 employees that commute across the border from Canada on a daily basis. Not one of these individuals has run into any issues outside of what would be considered normal. The reality is the risks of coming to the United States are no different than they are or have been in the past. You should take normal security precautions. Sure, you want to avoid certain events that are going on at isolated cities through the United States. I definitely wouldn't go visiting Portland or Chicago right now. But outside of that, the United States as a whole remains a very safe place to travel. If you're going to Florida, which is a very popular Canadian destination, Arizona, Texas, whatever it might be, there's no difference in traveling there than there has been in the past. In fact, if you go now, you're going to run into a lot less congestion because of this fear-mongering in the media. So if you look at other destinations that Canadians would travel to, and then you compare them against the travel advice and advisories, some of those other popular destinations, the most popular ones that are listed actually for Canadians outside of the United States are Mexico, the Dominican Republic, Jamaica. These are all listed as higher risk by the Canadians' own travel advisory system. They're actually yellow with the exclamation mark saying exercise a high degree of caution if you're traveling to any of those countries. Yet you rarely see the same level of alarmist coverage in the media about taking vacations to those countries or visiting those countries, even though the risk of going there is much higher than the risk of coming to the United States. So how do you prepare for travel if you're Canadian? Well, do the research on your own. Don't just listen to the media. Go to the actual government website. Check the travel advisory, not just reading headlines or watching the news. if you're coming to the United States, use normal precautions when you travel, just like you do at home. You shouldn't fear traveling around Canada or the United States at this point, whether it's for leisure or it's for business. It's important that when you come across the border, you clearly state your purpose and you have your documentation in order. As long as you have that, then you should be okay. So why is the Canadian media doing this? Why are they being overly cautious? Are they just doing their job? You know, there's a lot of reasons why they could be doing this. Canada's enjoying right now Canadians staying in Canada, vacationing throughout Canada, spending their dollars in Canada, and boosting the Canadian economy because they're not going to places like the United States. They're vacationing within Canada. So, which is a great thing for Canadians. It's great to see your own country, and it's great to travel and do business and keep those dollars within Canada. But at the same time, it's unjustified. Canadians don't need to fear traveling to the United States. They don't need to fear doing business in the United States. The media, as it's done under the entire Trump administration, is taken these isolated events. They've run them across the media, and in my opinion, it's fear-mongering. So if you planning on traveling to the United States, doing business in the United States, and you have reservations, well, give us a call. We deal with Canadians doing business, traveling to the United States, converting over to U.S. permanent residents, becoming U.S. citizens all the time. That's what we do. And we can walk you through the process. We can put you at ease, and we can answer any questions or concerns you have about doing business or immigrating to the United States. Hopefully this video puts you at ease and answered some questions that you might have about what is going on in the media and the real state of affairs in the United States. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to us directly. Give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and let us know if you have any questions about U.S. immigration. Thank you for watching, and safe travels.